Okay, hi everyone. We're here today for a game review, and I'm going to be going through all 9 of the four-player chess World Chess Championship games over time. And I'll start with the first one here. And although this is sort of education and entertainment, I am going to rotate board to focus on green. And I think for each game, I'm going to try to look from the perspective of the winner. So green did end up winning this game, but we don't know how yet, and I haven't really looked at the game yet either. So this will be my first impressions of the game, and let's go ahead and study what happened here. Okay, so red opened with a rook pawn advance. Okay, this one, yeah, I think it's not as common, although it is aggressive, right? Normally you would rook pawn advance to the against the person to the left of you, so you could block it off with them and then focus on attacking the person to the right. But now it makes it harder for green to block it off with red. So this is more aggressive and less defensive of an opener. Okay, and blue took the more defensive rook pawn opening. Yellow not committing to any rook pawns yet, and green committing to this rook pawn opening, which is also aggressive. Okay. Okay, so everyone sort of has different theories coming in here. Okay. Okay, and blue immediately develops the queen's pawn. So I don't know whether they're going for a pawn push, but either way, no one else has opened up the light square diagonal, so blue is safe doing so. Okay, and now, yes, this is one thing you can do. It's less good now for yellow to bring the knight here because there's always this move from blue. So the other options are here and here, and yellow chose this one. Okay, and green did likewise. And red's giving some availability for the queen while preserving the pawn in front of the king. So this is not so aggressive but not so defensive either. Blue develops. Okay, so yellow has now developed both knights to these squares. Interesting. And green, it's very interesting that green would open up this bishop diagonal right now. Perhaps he wants to gain some advantage before there's an attack available on his knight, like after this move or something. And he wants to force yellow to close it off. That's possible. But either way, he's going to have to develop his bishop along this diagonal, so it's probably just good to do it now, before there's any other attacks coming from red. It's basically impossible for green to go and try and fianchetto now. Right, especially with the knight here, and any move could be met with en passant. So he's going to have to develop on this diagonal. Better to open the diagonal soon before there's any counterattacks. And if he has to trade the bishop, he has to trade the bishop. But it's likely that yellow would close it off. So it's sort of a gamble as green, but it might pay off. Okay, so this pawn gets moved. Blue develops the other rook pawn, and then, okay, yellow does close this off. So this is sort of a good exchange for green, because now both of yellow's bishops are locked in. So green got a small advantage there, I would say. And okay, let's see. Okay, it just looks like normal development. Okay, green moves the bishop here. This is an interesting one. Typically you don't see this. This signals to me that Green would like to have the option always to move his queen out, because these games can get hectic pretty fast. And he probably wants to keep his king in the center, because this is very tight and he won't be able to move this pawn. So he might go queen out and king over to defend, especially since this diagonal is not very safe. Okay, so queen out. Blue moves his pawn up. Okay, and yellow sacks here. Okay, so this I have seen before. Someone did tell me about it, and then I used it in a game before as well, in a 2v2 game though. In free-for-all, this is interesting because, well, you're giving up material, and what you're doing is you're making Blue's king much weaker, right? And Blue is also thinking about doing the same thing, it seems. He's protecting this pawn ahead of time. And we've talked before about keeping your king safe. King safety is extremely valuable in this game. So, if yellow could somehow cripple blue, which he's sort of done here, at least in the structure, if blue takes back, there's going to be a lot of action on blue's king. Could come this way also. Then, if you can cripple blue's structure, then what happens? Well, he could get dogpiled on, and that could be a way to eliminate a player at the cost of a knight. Now, keep in mind, this tournament was not played with the normal settings. This tournament was played basically winner takes all. First player to 3 wins, and everything else besides first place doesn't count. So this is an interesting strategy. if yellow says he has to win, right? Okay, but ultimately it's very aggressive as a move. Let's see how it goes. Okay, and red follows up. So red's saying if you take back, then there's going to be consequences on the king along that diagonal. Okay, now green, I would like to see green get the queen out too and prepare something here. Okay, so actually blue decides it's too dangerous to even take that knight, and he just guards the rook. I wonder if it would be better to move the rook, let this get taken. Like, and this stuff might come though. I don't know. Because your bishop's going to end up on a bad square. Okay, now yes, green does bring the queen out, so that I like that. It's probably what I would do as well. And green also has no weaknesses right now, so that's good. He's playing a safe game. But he does have a little bit of lack of development here. There's no square for this bishop to come out to. Red develops another bishop. This is quick development. And you'll notice that this queen has no route to go home. So if this queen is ever attacked, it might just be jumping around the board for a while, but it seems like it's just going to be attacking anyway. So, okay. Blue takes back there. Now this bishop is sort of awkwardly placed. Yeah, so this kind of stuff is coming, right? So I wonder if it would have been better to move the rook. I'm not saying it was, but I'm just curious. Okay. Now we get, wow, that's also extremely quick development. It's another benefit to these rook pawn moves. It's a little bit hard to develop it right now with the knight. But he's also covering sacks on this square, so he could recapture with the rook. And it's also sort of just a waiting move to see what happens. This queen does not have a really good square to go to yet. Okay. He's probably not worried about getting double attacked by red and yellow because blue is such an easy target compared to green. Okay. And so this could be setting up an attack on here, but again, there's already the knight defending. This is another advantage of moving the knight out like that. It covers your king's f7 the weakness, or in this case m6. Okay. So what is this move exactly doing then? Centralizing a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what this move is doing. Okay. Yellow can't move this up because it'll be checkmate. He's preventing the bishop from coming into the attack. It's not bad. Okay, and now there's an attack here, as we sort of expected. Yellow's a little bit behind in development, so he's giving up some development to make this attack work. Let's see how that goes. Okay, green runs out or rushes out to protect. So he couldn't go there last turn because yellow's queen was attacking. So I don't think this rook move was a mistake necessarily. And now, okay, so what was red's path? Okay, so here to here, this was his plan. From here, I don't know, you could get some kind of checkmate going if you're on this square. If the queens are on this square and this square, that would be mate. Okay. And now, okay. Blue could have tried this, right? That lead to mate. It would be check, or it would be, I mean, it could be a check and a check, but then the king could just take, unless green backstabbed. Okay. But we also could have green come in here. Oh no, we actually couldn't because it's yellow's turn. If there's anything in the comments. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this queen sacrifice was necessary. This bishop move was possible, I think. If you see anything else, let me know in the comments. But looks possible. Especially because yellow has to move the queen right away. Either take, and then green will take, and then, you know, what's red gonna do, really? Okay. So check. Blue loses the queen, and now check. What is this check? This isn't bug house. You can't sack a queen just to bring the king out. So let's, I mean, check, and then red checks. Oh, okay, yeah. Because now if red doesn't check, then this pawn will come in. Basically, they're just saying, if we can checkmate yellow, we don't have to worry about this queen, which is very damaging. Okay, so check. Check. Now blue can't come here and force the checkmate. So check. And now yellow is the only one left with the queen, and he still got the attack. But now yellow has to make a choice between taking this rook and taking, no, you can't take the bishop because the bishop's going to come here. So he's going to have to not take the rook. He's going to have to move his queen. That's a good move. Okay, you don't need to do that. I think you can just move the bishop out, right? So that's another piece lost. But I guess there's more checks coming, perhaps. Let's see. What would happen if yellow took that? Then it would be check. Oh, check from green. If it's ever check from green, then yellow will lose his queen. So yellow had to run here. Right, makes sense. And now, okay, so this attack was good. Now we have check again. So basically, they're just checking yellow every single turn so that this will not happen. And red's development is not fast enough. Red's not really assisting here anymore now that he lost his queen. That was sort of his only developed attacking piece. So yeah. Okay, now this bishop move. So what's the idea? Probably just getting into a better square because there's no immediate threats he can make. And then, yeah, now the bishop move finally comes, and yellow takes that. So he's giving the queen. Well, I guess if this comes and this check comes, then he's going to lose the queen anyway. So better just to take this now. Blue will waste a move there. And red has already moved the king. Alright, sorry, yellow. Has yellow moved the king? Yes, yellow has moved the king. So there's no castling here. Okay. And attacking the rook. And then yellow could follow, red could follow up there. So if we look at the whole board position now, after that, those few queen trades, now we're sort of entering a middle game where no one's really going to die immediately, I would guess. But I would say there's no chance for blue. He handled the situation in the opening poorly and got punished. Red has a nice position, but his development is slow. I still would probably favor red. Green has slightly better development than red, but no points. So I'd probably favor red here overall. Yellow has a lot of points, but the king's position is poor, and he's down a little bit of material. So we'll see if he can make good trades. Okay. So blue just, I mean, you can develop all your pieces, but then once your pieces are all developed, you can't do anything because you have no pieces. So here we go. Okay. And green is still, I mean, they're both desperate enough that I'm not sure. I mean, blue could think about doing this, but would he even have enough points? No, he has to get first, right? Yes, so this is, maybe you would take this if you're playing to not get last in the game, and you're betting that, okay, I can probably beat someone in points, but if you have to get first, you would never take this. And winner take all. Okay, so now this is threatening the tactic here and also threatening the check. Guessing yellow will move up here. Yeah. Okay, king over. What is that doing? I guess there's enough bishops left that he doesn't feel comfortable moving up. For example, this bishop diagonal. But he does feel comfortable here. I don't necessarily think that's safer, but it does give the rook a little bit more ability. Okay. Okay, so he's walking all the way over to the corner. That makes more sense than just moving one square. I still favor red and green here. So yellow's attack on that pawn certainly did ruin blue's chances completely, but yellow's not in a stellar position either. Okay, and I think green and red will just play this slowly, get turtled up. That's convenient for green. So this knight had to go somewhere. It went here. We have a check. This is not looking too good for yellow's king now. So this is nice for blue. At the moment his bishop was attacked, he also had a nice tactic to go in on. Otherwise you have to go here. Okay. And now red is starting to activate. Okay, now it's a check plus this bishop. So yeah, the king's position is poor. Could yellow get away without taking this knight? And just rook over and king down? I think that may have been better. Because green would have to waste a move anyway. Or let red take this bishop. Okay, so now, yeah. Red will attack this rook again now. You won't? Oh, because then this would be a check again. Okay. So he wants to do... Okay. Interesting. That's just getting it taken, right? Or I guess the rooks are protecting each other, right? Because actually this bishop move was the skewer, so he's basically making the rooks protect each other, and then one of them will get taken. But since green has to take now, there's an option to open up green's king. Okay, and green decides better to take this knight and let my king be open than... better to take this knight and keep my king safe than save the rook. So that's just how much green is valuing king safety right now. And red's looking great, still with 2 bishops, 2 rooks, and 2 knights. Basically lost nothing and accumulated 19 points. So red's obviously in a favorable position, but that means people will start to team him. So let's see. Okay. Gets that pawn out of the way. Also 38 points for yellow. He's been doing a lot of stuff this game. Okay, it seems like yellow believes the alliance is over because he's attacking red's pieces now. They're both attacking with pawns. This is a good way to get rid of a couple pawns, but ultimately this is a nice move by red, consolidating, and a bad structure for green now. Ultimately that just won them a singular pawn and green ruining structure. So what did green have before that? Green had a nice structure, and now cumulatively they won 1 pawn from red and then green ruined structure. What about blue structure? Okay, blue structure was trash anyway, didn't matter. Okay. So I can see a lot of, you know, indefensible pawns now for green. Okay, so this looks like the plan. Push this pawn and this pawn. Okay. We got a check here. So it's the check, and then you can win yellow's rook. But let's see, red could also sacrifice to stop it. Okay, red doesn't care. I probably wouldn't care either. And okay. Maybe red should have sacrificed though, because now he's just such an obvious leader that he's going to get teamed hard. That's another reason why yellow would think the alliance is over here. So yellow stopping the promotion, and green is going to have to bring everything to bear on yellow. Green has like no points right now. Somehow he ends up winning this game, as far as I know. Okay. Don't really have to concern ourselves with yellow and blue's moves too much now. There's not much of consequence that they can do, other than green can sometimes work together with yellow to win some material. Okay, that's an interesting one. Alright, so now blue and yellow working together since they're both high in points, but low in material. Okay, red takes that. So if you were going to sacrifice your bishop for a knight, you could have also sacrificed your bishop earlier to keep another one of yellow's rooks alive. Now, yellow might also turn on you anyway, but... Okay, actually this also fixes green structure, so this is quite bad for red to be making that sacrifice. And yellow goes there, so now this is not as well defended. And okay, so now green structure has been fixed. It's nice for green. Still, I definitely give red an advantage here. Although, yeah, pawns are quite powerful in the endgame. So if a lot more material gets traded off, it's very, or yellow or red gets eliminated, it's gonna be very easy for green to make queens. They do have to watch out for blue here though, as he's gonna make a queen next move. With check, interesting. I mean blue made a queen. Okay. So now that blue has a queen, yeah, this might be the ticket for them to defeat red. Okay, takes that pawn off. Nice. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of pawns left for green. And I mean, maybe blue should even take this, but he's probably not going to. He's probably just going to chase the king. Yeah, check. And then blue's king gets checked, okay. And green giving up on that pawn, probably a good choice. It's nice that there's no light square bishops anymore to check green's king. Except for his own, which doesn't check his king. Still brings it back though. I don't know, you could probably get away with pushing this pawn and then bringing it back. Alright, check. Interesting tactic there. Okay, and green goes here. So now, what's the threat? Green goes here. If red takes, what happens? Or maybe he's just slowing down them from killing blue. What? Oh, never mind. Sorry. There's this double attack here. Okay, so nice timing by green. And now green will get to take that bishop. I don't know why would you move the rook here, because now it's attacked again. Better square for that rook. I mean, it's tough to find one. Okay, I guess maybe if you can guarantee that you get to take back here, that at the end of this, okay, check, fine. Okay, and this pawns cannot move. That's fine. Okay, check. Now green's starting to move pawns. This is not leading to mate very quickly. So green's, ooh. Okay. And now, I guess red can check. Wow, green takes one of blue's pawns. Cheeky, because blue's gonna take a queen. Nice, take this though. What? Could have taken the bishop, but I guess he's playing to win, right? Not playing for the points. So if he's still believing that green is protecting him, then he might continue to play like this. Okay, check. So green is just using that as a defensive piece for blue's king right now. It's probably a good use for it, honestly, because that'll give more time for blue to attack red in this. So basically, green is basically giving up this bishop. It may or may not survive, but it's certainly not in a safe place in order to have an extra queen and an extra turn. Because since green is the only reason blue is alive, blue is not going to attack green. And he basically has an extra move because green's going to be attacking his enemies. So this is quite a nice play, I think. I like it. Top tier play. All right, so check. Okay, so this is going to be what? But green can't take here. This would be a good idea if green could take here, but this is green. I mean, guess green could take here. And put blue in check, but then red will be checkmated. So, okay, interesting. Yeah, so this rook won't matter anymore. He won't be able to take the king since he'll already be dead. Okay, so this is a really nice play. Okay, and yellow decides, well, red is dead, so I'm going to go ahead and take his piece now and try to take the point lead. And is it not? Okay, there is one move left. And blue's in check. So red runs, and now blue has to get out of check. Check again. So now they're just, this looks like blue's going to keep getting checked, so this queen can never come back into the game. He's also protecting this knight, which is nice. Okay, so now I would like to see the rook come out. Okay, check, 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 of course. Oh, but now he's not protecting this knight anymore, so that's a free knight. And check again. Let's double check, so he's winning some points there as well. And okay, so this is how green came back into the points. He found a nice checkmate there. Very nicely done on blue. Blue's basically dead at this point, and no one can fault green for doing that. Okay, so now red and yellow don't have much. I mean, there is a queen here, so I'd say if they work together, they can deal with green, but let's see if they work together. Oh, sorry. And this pawn was perfectly positioned, so that immediately gained a queen. Okay. And protected the bishop. Wow. Efficiency. Okay, so that might be enough. That might be enough for green to force the win even against two people now. We'll see. Check. Because he's got so many pawns, he can trade off a queen for a queen. That's no problem. Yeah, and he's actually trying to do that. Interesting. So guess yellow missed this tactic as well. That's not a checkmate. Okay, and at that point you can just resign. It's even a claim win situation. Wow. Okay, but let's see what would happen if this got traded. There's no heavy pieces for yellow and red, so there's not much stopping this pawn from promoting. Yellow might be able to sack a bishop for it, and then this rook could probably prevent red's pawns, and the rest of these pawns would go. So I would not guarantee, because with perfect play, it's going to be tough to beat two players with extra moves. But I would like green's chances here for taking the game in the case of a queen trade. But it didn't have to get to that point because yellow missed the checkmate. Alright, so nice first game. Leave a comment if you have any other tactics or such that I missed. I probably missed a few. But I'm going to keep reviewing these to improve my own game and hopefully think about some insights to give you as well. Alright guys, that's it for this game, and I'll see you in the next one.